Hello. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. It be me, the Mochster, Mochikuma, the bear, the man. Oh wait, no, my model's a bit high up. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I'd say, hmm, Freddy Fazbear. Dude, were you the one that made that, or was that Helix? I swear, y'all were insistent that I see that freaking edit of me. I swear. But um, I think this is a good place to put my model for this. It's kind of covering the text box, but I think you can still see it for the most part. We're just figuring things out, guys. Yeah, no, wait. What about what about right there? What do you think, soldier? You think right there is good? Like you can still see me plenty, and you can kind of see the text. I think I think I think right there might be good. That looks yeah. Yeah, now we're gaming. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I, the, the sound on this is so weird. So it looks like we do have voices, music, skip unread text. Yeah, turn that off. Well, I don't. It doesn't even really matter because there is no red text. Uh, right click menu, display count character sprites. What the hell? Character sprites remake or console? Uh, sure. Uh, what's it on? It's on We'll just yeah. All right. Man, I wonder if it's obvious that I have no idea what's going on. All right. So I opened it, and this was the first thing I got. I didn't even get a title screen. It says, "Video opening might contain minor spoilers. Do you want to enable it anyway?" Um, do we see the opening in do we see the opening in the slight chance we might be spoiled? I don't know. I don't really want to be spoiled. Uh, we could probably just watch the. Oh, there's my big strong bear man. It's Penguin, but hey Mystic, you are now Icy Chris. Oh, I see, I see. Let's just disable the opening. We can watch it later. Seventh expansion. Manga Gamer. Seventh mod. What the hell? Now you can hug me without crushing. What the heck? What is this music? That's what I'm saying. Seventh expansion. I did click on chapter 1, right? I think I did. Yeah, this is chapter 1. Uh. Oh my god, that scared me. Oh, what is this? Oni Kakushi. It's like someone trying to drive without releasing their brakes. Oh my god. Demoned Away chapter. Welcome to the world of Higurashi. When they cry, the Onikakushi arc will be the opening, inviting you into this world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty for this chapter is extremely high, but I hope you'll enjoy the reward. Oh wait, is there like actual gameplay? Dude, I don't... What is happening? Please do not deploy yourself. Even if the world does not forgive you, I will forgive you. Please do not deploy yourself. Even if you do not forgive the world, I will forgive you. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance of blah 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 blah. AD 1983, the earliest the 58th Showa era. Dude, why does this, like... This has got my tension high. Oh my goodness. It's like someone... I am scared, please hold me. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No. I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Dude, turn off your brakes and drive away already. Who the hell is whipping so much? Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain? My eyes getting moist? Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind. With her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. What the fuck? Guys, I am uncomfortable. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk, even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. Hey, Mimi! Hope you're doing well today. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Oh, is that what Higurashi means? Is it just means cicadas? Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't many burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. An ice cream parlor? No chance. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There are music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors where I used to live, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, そろそろ着くぞ。起きなさい。
I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Oh shit, we finally got a BG. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. By the way, how's the audio balance, guys? Is the sound effects louder than me, or am I way too louder than the sound effects? Let me know. I want to make this experience as enjoyable as possible. Sounds fine to me. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. Ooh, that's a nice little town. Pretty. Fields are nice. And I don't know if I'm a big fan of the mountains. I've got a lot of mountains where I live. There, where I live now. Oh, I'm gonna have to get used to saying this name. Hinamizawa. Wonder why this is called 7th expansion. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Oh. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. Okay, that music is a bit loud. Let's put sound effects right there too. Maybe a little quieter. I think that's a good place for the music. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, and ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today.
こっちに引っ越してきてから、圭一が早起きになって嬉しいわね。
早起きしないと朝飯を食いそびれるんだよ。
I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good.
ご飯はいっぱい？それとも半分くらいでいい？
Do I have a... No. If I got rid of one voice, I'd have to get rid of them all. I don't want to get rid of them all.
Yamamori.
First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile.
こっちに引っ越してきてから、圭一が朝食を欠かさないんで嬉しいわね。
I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin.
そろそろレナちゃんと待ち合わせの時間じゃない？急いで急いで。
Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I race for the door.
レナちゃんにお漬物ありがとうって伝えてね。
Man, it's something about the word pickle. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more.
Ayo!
圭一くん、おはよう。
Oh! There we go. There's our first sprite. You know, I'm curious, because they said, like, the sprites, So that's the console. What's the remake look like? What's the difference? Interesting. I think I prefer the console one. Yeah, let's just keep it on that one. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself.
相変わらず早いな。たまにはのんびり朝寝坊したっていいんだぜ。
お寝坊したら圭一くんは待ってちゃうじゃない。
It fucking scared me, dude! I'm not used to the mouth moving! Did that get anyone else, or was that just me? Like, I did not expect the mouth to move. Wait, I gotta see if the mouth moves with the other sprite. Wait, let's test it out. She's so conscientious. And such a good person.
そん時は置いてく。
圭一くん冷たい。
Well, it looks like it doesn't with the other one. I wonder why. Is there a way to, like, rewind it? I guess not. Oh well.
いつも待っててあげてるのに。
That is so weird. Is anyone else just, like, bugging out at the fact that the mouth is actually moving? Like, I did not see that coming. I'm sorry. I'll move on.
サクサク置いてく。キリキリ置いてく。
どうして冷たいんだろう。
Reina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed.
嘘。ちゃんと待ってるよ。
With those words, Reina seemed to relax. Her face blushed bright red.
ありがとう。
Man, they really put a lot of work into these sprites.
レナが来るまでずーっと待ってる。いつまでも。
ずーっと。
Aww. Reina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease.
レナはロマンスものの文庫本は読んだことあるか？
ないよ。読んだことない。
From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out.
そうそう。お袋から伝言。漬物サンキューでしたって。
どういたしまして。どうだった？しょっぱくなかったかな？
They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright.
その前に聞きたい。あの漬物を漬けたのはレナか？レナのお母さんか？
なんで聞くんだろう。しょっぱかった？
Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically.
レナか？レナのお母さんか？
なんで作った人聞くんだろう。
どっちが作ったかで感想が著しく変わる。
Alright. She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Reina nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response.
レナだけど。
うまかった。
Ne.
前回に続き、なかなかだったぜ。飯との相性は最高だった。
Her face went bright red again. Aww. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Reina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. I really hope this isn't foreshadowing. I really hope that's not foreshadowing. Keep at it, Reina. I'll train you until you can handle it like the average person. What? I decided, or so I decided for myself.
行こうぜ。ミオンを待たせるとあいつうるさいぞ。
Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Reina back to reality so we could make our way to the school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Reina Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved.
お、来た来た。遅いよ二人とも。
Let me check how the overlay is with this format. Oh, not bad. Okay. Let's move the chat box a little to the... Perfect. Alright.
いつも遅いのはお前の方だろ。
In sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
おはようレナ。そしてケイちゃんお久しぶり。何年ぶりだっけ
2日しか休んでねえよ。
そうだっけか前に会った時はこんなにちっちゃくて可愛かったのにな。
Mion's gaze stared at my chest, but then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Okay, let's... Hold on. Let's not do that now. Now that is sus. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Okay, alright. Let's focus on that. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I would hope not. Did the voice not go through? I guess I'll do it. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. What? Voice-sama? What happened to the voice? The voice is bugging out. It's morbing out. I mean... What? So just no more voices now? Alright, I guess I can do this. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now it's just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of the fresh morning air? No. That's what we call public indecency. I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Oh my god, Casey, no! Hope you don't regret it! Oh my god! As my hand reached for my fly, Reina began to ramble in a near panic. Wait, oh... Now the voice is back? What's happening? Red-faced and flustered, Reina tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about.
どうだった?久しぶりの都会はさ。
Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning.
葬式で行っただけだぜ。慌ただしいだけだったよ。
でさ、探しといてくれた?頼んどいたやつ。
お前、人の話聞いてないだろ。俺は葬式で帰っただけだぜ。おもちゃ屋巡りをしてる余裕なんかなかったんだよ。おもちゃ屋とホビーショップは全然違うよ。特に洋物、こっちじゃなかなか手に入らないからね。
Was it so? Well, I guess that would be obvious.
みーちゃんまたゲームの話？
Mion nodded proudly as Reina giggled.
そう、ケイちゃんに洋芸のカタログを持ってきてもらいたかったんだけどね。
Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky.
そんなのまた通販で取り寄せりゃいいじゃねえか。
ま、そうするかな。またプレイングの熱いゲームを入荷するからね。
Uh,
今度は私にもわかりやすいゲームがいいな。
Mion is a board and card game enthusiast. I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Reina, Mion's room has become a kind of museum for domestic and foreign games.
俺にもわかりそうなゲームがあったらやらせてくれよ。
へえ、いいよ。
Did the man drive away?
ケイちゃんさえ良ければね。でもうちらのレベルは高いよ。
上等じゃねえか。俺だって遊び100番遅れを取るつもりはないぜ。
はあ。じゃあ今度はケイチくんも仲間に加わるのかな。
What the fuck is that chick's voice? Oh, I'm surprised you weren't caught off guard by the freaking mouths moving. That's what got me. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Reina looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
男の子ってきっと外で遊ぶ方が好きだと思ってたから、ダメかと思ってたよ。
Reina laughed happily. You know, I'm kind of curious what her remake sprite looks like. Oh, so that's what it looks like. Interesting. Ooh, I might like that a bit more. Nah, with the whip and the guy unable to drive, nothing surprised me. Oh my god, it's an improvement. Oh, you think these are better? The console ones have their mouths are able to move. You know, the remakes are kind of better, aren't they? Yeah, you know what? I think the remakes are kind of better. We'll go with that. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I'll have to try harder to fit in so they won't feel like they have to make me feel welcome. The remakes make them look like they're teens and not a little kid. Yeah. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Inamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that, long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. I wasn't gonna fall for that again.
ここで戦闘を譲るとはな。
I have a feeling that this place is gonna have a dark secret.
お手並み拝見ってことかよ。
Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
どうしたの二人とも。
下がってろレナ。危ないぞ。
Uh-oh.
やつだ。
じゃあ、さとこちゃんが？
Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this.
見え見えの罠だな。引き戸の上に挟んだ黒板消し。見え見えだぜ、サトコ！
Oh. A haughty laugh came from beyond the door.
お見事、ケイちゃん。こりゃ、今回は勝負あったかな。
いや、相手はサトコだ。
What is happening?
これだけとは思えない。
After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer left my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic, rude Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never miss fire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax.
見たところ黒板消しは普通。石とかは入れてないみたいだな。
I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day.
じゃあさ、ガラガラって開けて落としちゃえばいいんじゃないかな。
それだ！
That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward, so I lifted my hand to the door. There were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser.
見事なコンボだ、サトコ！だが、所詮はガキの浅知恵だったな。
Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. Well, I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. Well, I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner.
ケイちゃん、避けて！
Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Well, an inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
これはこれは。
Oh, I guess that's Satoko. Well, let's see what her console sprite looks like, just out of curiosity. Wow. They really changed that, didn't they? They like changed that all to hell. They spiffied that one up.
おはようございます、ケイチさん。朝から賑やかですわね。
Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. She's like 5. She about looks like 5, doesn't she?
一段とスペシャルなトラップワークになったじゃないか、サトコ！
私何のことかわかりませんもの。
Oh no.
朝からついてませんわね。
てめえ。あ、いててててて。
It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Yeah, throw bricks at her. Better than landing on that inkstone. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Oh. Alright, let's see what that one looks like. Wow, they really changed these dramatically, Jesus.
Keiichi no itai no itai no tonde ike desu.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work. Well, the console works well in some. Yeah. It's probably the one with the car noises and the whip noises. A small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
腰とかはくじかなかったですか？
Rika is precious, we must protect her.
こうして撫でていれば、痛いの痛いのは消えてきますです。
Aww. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts.
ありがとな。リカちゃんのおかげで痛みが引いてきたぜ。
ん？
リカちゃん、おはよう。レナにおはようございます。みんなにもおはようございますです。
Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. If I come back and hear anything bad had happened, I'll hunt down the person. Oh Lord. It was infectious. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back.
リカちゃんはいい子だよな。それに比べてサトコは。
I glared over in their direction. Satoko was whistling, while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
サトコはいい子でございますのことよ。
いい子はこんな凶悪な罠仕掛けないぞ。
言いがかりでございますわ。
Nothing but lies and slander.
何の証拠があって？うわ
I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. Rika must be protected unless it's all a deploy, and Rika is an evil genius. She's much harder to deal with.
ごめんなさいって言ってみな。言わないなら。
I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. Oh no, he's gonna give her the flick! Oh no! The most dangerous move. Why is it that these kids are like 5 and the guy sounds like he's 20?
暴力反対ですの。証拠もないのに。
言っとくが俺のデコピンはすごく痛い。
My forehead flick really hurts.
ベニヤくらいなら割る。
Oh my god.
やめて、寄らないでけだもの。
人様が聞いたら誤解するような言い方をするんじゃねえ。
A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
ケイイチが2日間もお休みしたから寂しかったのです。
Sus. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
うわー、
Jesus, man.
悔しくなんかないもん。 泣いちゃダメです、さとこ。ファイト、おーです。
Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You'd have never guessed that those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or two or thing or a million from Rika-chan. Wow, man, you made him cry. That wasn't me, that was Keiichi. I'm just voicing his inner thoughts. I'm the voices in his head.
今度はもっとすごい罠を仕掛けなさいですよ。
Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Reina's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. They look the same age. What do you mean you wouldn't think they're the same age?
さとこちゃん泣いている。かわいいよ。
持ち帰っちゃダメだからね。
だってこんなにかわいいよ。
どんなに可愛くてもダメなの。
でもちょっとくらいならダメかな。
Icy gets like a Winter Soldier episode when he loads up a visual novel. Reina kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Reina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person.
物もまずいが誘拐はもっとまずいぞ。諦めろ。
じゃあ見てるだけだよ。それならいいよね。
What the fuck is this game? Reina swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn to Reina into the authorities. Forgive me, Reina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
先生来たよ。早く片付ける。さとこ、すずりあんたのでしょ。
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bed lamp from before had been nightly tidied up.
間に合ったね。起立！気をつけ！
Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. Is this the army now? But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Reina and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taken over for the teacher and helping Reina and Mion with their studies.
ケイチくんはお勉強教えるのうまいね。わかりやすいよ。
Reina took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section.
教える端から自信がなくなるよ。自分の理解の浅さがわかるな。
人に教えるには3倍理解してなければならないって言うしね。ケイちゃんもうちらに教えながら同時に復習もできてるわけなんだよ。
In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me?
ミオンさ、一言じゃないぞ。真剣にやんないとまずいぜ。こんなレベルじゃ。
別に進学校を目指すわけでもないし。受験に必要なそこそこができてりゃ十分十分。
Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relaxed than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
みーちゃん、ケイイチくんが頑張って教えてくれるんだからさ。私たちも頑張ろうよ。
レナは素直ないい子だな。先生がきっといい学校に進学させてやるからな。
ありがとう。
レナには特に教えてやるからな。
Oh.
二人きりでプライベートレッスンだぞ。
Reina is sus.
プライベートレッスン。
A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Reina's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? Okay, this is sus now. I'd like to hear the play-by-play of that next time. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question. FBI opened up.
都会じゃさ、こんなに勉強しなきゃいけないわけ？
この程度はできないと進学できないね。
進学できないから勉強するわけ？
まあ、平たく言えばそうなるな。将来役に立たないのは承知で。
こっちじゃあさ、出席日数が足りてりゃみんな進学できるんだよ。
そうなのか？
Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
そうかもね。試験で振り落とさなきゃならないほど人もいないし。誰でも進学できるならさ、そんなにガリガリとやることもないんじゃない？
I want to go to the school if getting to university is that easy. Same.
まあ、そうだけど、でも一般常識程度にはできた方が。
おじさんはそんな無駄な勉強に時間をかけるよりさ、この思春期の貴重な時間をもっと有意義に過ごすために使うべきじゃないかなと考えるわけよ。
It's too profound a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
ケイちゃん、おしまいおしまい。
What happened to the teacher? Nah, teachers don't get sprites. No stinky teacher sprites. Not here, not ever.
さあ、楽しいランチタイム。
In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
ケイイチくん、お昼にしよう。
Lunchtime already? What the fuck? I might have been making a very troubled face. Reina simply... Wow, I don't know why I said... Reina smiled brightly at me.
うっしゃ！飯にするか！
There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we both had boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Reina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desk over as well.
ケイチくん、早く早く。
Reina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes.
ケイチさんのお弁当はミミチク、日の丸弁当に決まってますわ。さあ、恥ずかしがらずにお見せなさいな。ほらほら。
Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. When I grew up, it was 2 classes, then break, then another 2, then lunch, and then another. Yeah, it's usually about how it is. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle.
おう、お待たせ。
では、ミー委員長の号令でいただきますです。
At first, this was kinda embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends.
いただきます。
The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Oh, wait. Wait. Do you not have the... I guess the CGs remain the same. Anyways, really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course, there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. I put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with the guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. A lot younger, what was they like, 2? You know, if the CGs aren't going to change, I guess we might as well just keep it on console. Since the CGs aren't even going to be different. That way, I won't be as confused. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch.
あらあら、ケイチさんのお弁当は今日は大奮発ではございませんこと？
あらあら、さとこさんのお弁当こそ大奮発ですこと。煮物がしっくていい感じですわ。
Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch.
あら、ビミ
お、里芋がいい感じだぞ。
Are they just stealing each other's lunch?
煮物は冷めててもうまいよな。
After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile.
夕べの夕食の煮物少し取っておきましたですよ。
By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day.
この煮物もリカちゃんが作ったのかい？こいつはお袋の味クラスだよな。
I was honestly impressed. Carrot rosettes weren't from a mold, they were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do.
リカちゃんって何気にそういうの得意なんだよな。
お裁縫とかお洗濯とかも上手なの。 すごいよね。すっごいよね。リカはいろいろとすんごいんですのよ。
Rika didn't make it. She cheated.
お前が威張ることじゃねえ。
僕よりレナの方がお料理は上手です。
It seemed that the topic of the conversation switched to Reina when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Reina's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. That's like buying store-bought food and putting them in a bake sale to claim you made them. Everyone else pulled from Reina's lunchbox constantly.
これ、前に評判良かったからいっぱい作ってみたの。美味しいかな？
かなり合格点。あ、ミオ、お前取りすぎだよ。
Knocking Mion's chopstick aside, I reached out trying to secure my own portion. Satoka and Rika-chan reached over at the same time and the struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Reina's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Reina. But Reina seemed rather satisfied as she looked on.
いかがかしら。レナさんもとてもお料理が上手ですことよ。ケイイチさんとは大違いですの。
だからお前が威張ることじゃねえだろ。
さとこだってケイちゃんと変わらないじゃんよ。あんたブロッコリーとカリフラワーの区別つくようになったわけ
Satoko's face went pale.
おいおい、ブロッコリーとカリフラワーの違いなら俺だってわかるぜ。
Bro, ain't no way.
わかりますもの。わかるもん。
May seem happy, but on the inside she was like, that's my forking food. It's really hard for her to lie.
ケイイチくん、どっちでも茹でてマヨネーズかけると美味しいじゃない？いじめちゃかわいそうだよ。みーちゃんも。
Reina hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Satoko.
まあまあ家庭科の授業ってことで。じゃあさとこ、これは？
Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon.
でもそれ、アスパラ、
Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible.
黄色がカリフラワー、緑がカリフラ。
Jesus.
さあどっちだ？ん？
多分、黄色がブロッコリーで、青がカリフラワー。でも緑は
本当にどっちかわかってる？降参した方が良くない？
I'd expect no less from the class rep. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. Okay, now we are bullying Satoko.
わかりますもの。わかるもん。
じゃあ答えなよ。
わかるもん。わかる
This is just a hunch, but I feel like she really doesn't know. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Bro, Reina is sus. Reina entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Reina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheeks against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile.
Rena, ミオンさんがいじめるんですの。
Jesus.
大丈夫だよ。レナお姉ちゃんが悪い人たちはやっつけちゃうからね。
What what the? Fwish! Boof! Bam! What the fuck? It was like a flash of lightning.
今、一体、何が
Reina is evil. Both of Reina's fists shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawling spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces.
ケイちゃんは食らうの初めてだよね。今日のはまだ甘い方。
What?
甘いって、これよりまだ上があるってのかよ。
With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Reina.
ほら、さとこちゃん、やっつけちゃったよ。かわいい。
Jesus.
お持ち帰りしたい。
Making sure Reina couldn't see, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Note to self, don't make Reina mad. Yeah. Damn it all. Using Reina like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance.
ねえ、ケイチくん、明日はさ、何か予定とかあるかな？
It was such a direct question from Reina, I inadvertently blustered. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? Reina saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well.
違うの。そういうのじゃなくて、
So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Reina's in a panic, I went along with it a little.
なんだ、そういうのじゃないのかよ。
Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection.
ケイチくん、なんでがっかりしてるんだろう、太郎。みーちゃん。
Unable to hold it any longer, Mion slapped me on the back.
そっか、そういう攻め方はおじさん知らなかったわ。
This old geezer. Is she referring to herself as an old geezer?
なんなの？
Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach, while Reina flailed around completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Reina's hair.
嘘、ごめん、冗談。悪かったよ。
really is a cute one.
冗談ってどこからだろうどこからだろう。
途中から。
途中からってことは、ケイちゃん、最初の真っ赤になったのは、あれ演技じゃないんだ。
それって。
Oh. It was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her.
いや、その。
Saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while.
で、明日が暇だと何なんだよ、レナ。
何の話だっけ？
It had been so long that Reina had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me.
ケイちゃんさ、まだこのひなみ沢一人じゃ回れないでしょ？
That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing Pin the Tail on the Donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here.
そうだな。街へ行くのと学校へ行く以外はまだ自信ないな。
そうそう。それでね、明日ね、みーちゃんとレナでお散歩しながら、ケイイチくんにひなみ沢を案内してあげようよってことになって。
That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer.
もちろん行くでしょ？
暇ならな。
女の子が誘ってんじゃん。
暇ならな。
どうせ暇なんでしょ？
暇ならな。
I was being stubborn so as not to give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front.
ケイイチくん、暇じゃないのかな？
While Mion and I are rather sour back and forth, Reina peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit rough on her, I just gave in.
すまん、許せ、ごめん。
え？
暇だ。
よかった。
The trepidation disappeared from Reina's face as it blossomed into a smile.
おうおう。ミヨンさんとレナさんじゃ随分と温度差がありますじゃん。
It seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her, compared to how quickly I agreed with Reina. But her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Reina forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind.
行こう、レナ。
No.
明日は二人っきりで出かけような。嫌味なミオンは置いてって。
Grumpy old Mion.
ケイイチくんがそれでいいなら。
Well.
案内しようって提案したのは私。しかとすんな、前原圭一。
二人きりでピクニック嬉しいな。弁当は持ってくか、レナ。
Dang. Mion just getting bullied.
お弁当いるなら、レナ作っちゃおうかな。
レナもしかとすんな。二人がラブラブだって村中に回覧板を。
じゃあ、レナ、今日は早く帰ってお弁当の準備するね。
Wait, did Reina just deck her in the face? Is that what happened?
明日が楽しみ。じゃあね、ケイイチくんにみーちゃん、さよなら。
Reina bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face.
大丈夫か？ミオンとレナの立ち位置、2メートルは離れてたはずだぞ。
Jesus.
あんたが来て以来、切れ味は増す一方。おじさん身が持たないわ。
Why does she keep referring to herself as an old geezer? Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Reina want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. If that happened, the results might be fatal.
くじけるなよ、ミオン。レナのジャブを見切れるのはお前しかいない。
私は膝じゃないかと思ってんだけどね。
Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport.
レナには負けられないぞ。ミオンも鍛えてリベンジだ。
ケイちゃんがしてよ。おじさんは応援してる。
Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Reina's infallible technique. I'm liking this so far, honestly. Wait, what? New tips unlocked. Tips acquired. What? What? View new tips. What's a tip? We're a mixed grade? What is happening?
レナってさ、俺と同い年だったよな。
うん、そうだよ。も同じだよね。
Oh. Hey now, it'd be weird if we were the same age, but not the same zodiac animal.
そんなことないよ。誕生日の違いがあれば、年齢が同じでも、干支が違うこともあり得るって。
あれ？あ、そうか。ミオン、頭いいじゃないか。
ところで、ケイチくんは何月生まれなのかな？レナは7月なんだよ。
Reina smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she?
だが諦めろ。俺に誕生日で挑もうったって無駄なことだ。
So Reina is a Cancer sign, I see.
なんならどっちが年上か罰ゲーム付きで勝負してもいいぜ。
なんでだろう。
Reina panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I am certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun. I can't help myself.
ってことはケイちゃん、ひょっとして4月生まれ？
そういうこったな。残念だな、レナ。
Us Cancer signs are known for being quiet but strong without looking at. Ah, I see.
俺、もうとっくにレナより年上なんだよ。
If anyone's curious, I'm Capricorn myself.
へえ、そうなんだ。じゃあ、みーちゃんと同い年なんだね。
まあ、ほんの何ヶ月かはね。すぐにまた差を開いてあげるけどさ。
Hence the reason why you got your butt kicked. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now, that's not something to get all high and mighty about. As if I'm the one to talk. Heh.
そういえば、ミオンって上級生なんだよな。
下級生の方が燃えるってんなら、今日から下級生ってことでもいいけど。
What the heck?
みーちゃん、よくわかんないこと言ってる。
Just by seeing Reina's blushing face. You could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though.
で、さとことリカちゃんが下級生と。どころか、学校が違うくらいの下級生だよな。
That's what I was thinking. Why they got like little kids there with like in the same class as them?
ケイチくんは、ちょっと、この年齢が低すぎると思うな。
Keiichi, you are sus. You are sus. Not making any sense yourself, Reina. They are like 5. Let's just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit.
やめて
N-
前から思ってたんだけどさ、なんでこの学校ってクラスが学年混在なんだ？
This whole game is sus.
教室の数が足りないからだよ。仕方ないじゃん。
Oh, there's not enough classrooms. Oh, I guess it makes sense. It is like a tiny little village.
営林署の建物を間借りしてんだからさ。
When she says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school was strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel, there are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked there.
なんで借りてるんだよ。本当の学校はどうしちゃったんだよ。
戦前からずーっと建ってたらしいからね。老朽化でね。
From before the war.
廃校ってわけよ。
It probably was a grand old schoolhouse.
まあ、それで、生徒は町の学校に通うことになったんだけどさ。遠いでしょ？
どこの学校だったの？
沖宮の駅前通りを抜けて病院に曲がって、小児科の向かいに学校あるのわかる？
遠いよ。
I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Reina's reaction.
まあ、そんなわけでさ。沖宮の学校に通いたくない連中は、こうして営林署の建物を間借りした仮校舎に通ってるってわけさ。
ひなみ沢の子供の半分くらいかな。朝早くに自転車で通ってる子たちも結構いるよ。
Give me just a second. I gotta take a little break to the men's room. The little men's room. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Nice.
まあ、こんなはちゃめちゃな学校に通ってたら、進学校とかはちょっと無理だろうからね。
そんなことないよ、みーちゃん。ちゃんと頑張れば、どこでだってお勉強はできるよ。
お、そうだぞそうだぞ。レナとは意見が一致したな。
そうだね、そうだね。頑張ろう。
Okay, I've begun to notice this. Does she repeats a certain phrase like sometimes? I don't know.
せいぜい頑張ってくださいな。おじさんはささやかに応援しとりますわ。
Why do you keep calling yourself this old man?
俺たちがじゃないぞ。ミオンがだぞ。お前受験生だろ。こんな成績じゃお先真っ暗だぞ。
いいもんいいもん。路頭に迷ったら永久就職してケイちゃんに食わせてもらうから。
永久就職ってなんだろう、なんだろう。
ほらそこ、うるさいですよ。
Cheat?
自習は静かに。
The teacher yelled at all three of us. It was completely our fault. Satoko sawed and chortled haughtily. I stuck up my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. The school has nothing to do with higher education. But it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. Interesting. We don't have a uniform? It's only June, but it's already so hot. I could hear the Higurashi outside chirping me, and at night there are mosquitoes. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool.
暑いでございますわね。
Satoko was flapping her skirt languidly. It's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she was still a girl.
ケイイチさんはワイシャツ一枚で涼しそうですわね。羨ましいですわ。
俺から見りゃスカートのサトコの方が涼しそうだよ。この時期のズボンがどれだけ暑いか、女のお前にはわかるまい。
He's not wrong. That's why I'm part of the jogging pants and or shorts gang. That's what I'm all about. Gotta wear those comfy clothes.
暑いって、
Okay, alright, no, let's not go there. This girl has gone imagining something indecent.
レナの夏服は涼しそうな色合いがいいよな。見てるこっちも涼しくなる。
ありがとう。本当に涼しいんだよ。私もレナさんみたいな涼しい夏服が良かったですわね。でも、さとこちゃんの夏服ワンピースですっごい可愛いし、レナはさとこちゃんの夏服着てみたいな。これ結構蒸しますわよ。絶対にレナさんの方が涼しいですわ。でも、可愛い服の方がきっと楽しいよ。はう。
I had a feeling that Reina and Satoko's base values were fundamentally different.
そういえば、この学校って指定の制服とかないんだよな。
ない よ。ふさわしい服であれば、私服でも大丈夫なんだよ。
There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain.
他の連中が着てる制服は何なんだよ。みんなお揃いだよな。
あれは町の学校の制服なんですのよ。別に決まってるわけじゃないですけど、みんな着てますわね。
そこへ行くと、俺らの仲間はみんないろいろな制服を着てるよな。わざわざどこかから取り寄せたのか？
ええ、ミオンさんが調達してくださいますの。みーちゃんの親類で古着商をやってる人がいて、全国の学校の服を格安で仕入れてるんだって。
で、その親類に頼んで、いろいろ個性的な制服を取り寄せてもらってるわけか。
That Mion. She probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for a second-hand clothing store. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about?
それはレナも思うよ。他にも体操服とかスクール水着のお古とかも扱ってるの。
Ew.
そういうののお古はちょっと嫌だよね。
Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't either.
あんまり儲かってなさそうな商売だな。きっと少しでも儲けさせるために、ミオンが一肌脱いでやってるんだろうな。
でも、いつもミオンさんが自信満々に言いますのよ。今にきっと大ブレイクしてすごい商売になるって。
A second-hand clothing store that stocks uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. Well, those are the tips, I suppose. You want tips? This is so strange. Alright, well, let's put a save right here, just in case. Oh, that was the end of chapter 1, I see. Continue. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. And to top it off, that pesky mom of mine pushing a return journey or errand on me just as I'm trying to leave the house. Today was the day Reina and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Oh! New outfits. Reina and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place.
ケイちゃん遅いぞ。
I wonder if they look different in the remakes too. Let's see. Well, they do. Huh. I wonder why they didn't update the CGs. I feel like the CGs could have been updated as well. But no biggie.
悪い悪い。責めるのは夕べの面白かった特番に言ってくれ。
ほー。女の子との待ち合わせに遅刻して言い訳がそれってわけ？
みーちゃんだって今来たばかりなんだよ。
夕べの密着24時間面白かったし。
Oh my god. She was just as guilty as me. Reina was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right. Reina really did make a picnic.
ケイちゃん、あの後レナ、大張り切りだったらしいよ。
別に、俺がけしかけたわけじゃないだろ
そんな、大変じゃなかったから気にしないでよ。
昨べから今朝まであのテンションらしいよ。責任取れんの？
わかった。俺も男だ。責任は取る。
責任って、なんだろう。
As we both turned around slowly to look at Reina, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Reina we were talking about here.
2キロくらいかな。
レナね、荷物持つとき、よっこらしょって言ってた。5キロ。
それはオーバー。ケイチくん男の子だから、
ね。
きっといっぱい食べるだろうと思って、たくさんね。もう行こう。よっこら、よっこ。
Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe the only things in there were lunchboxes.
訂正。俺も5キロ。
手伝いはするけど、全部食べるんだからね。レナを悲しませたら許さないよ。
The only thing I could do at the moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk, bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't have even imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies, after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on their weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around.
あ、こんにちは。
こんにちは。あら、そちらは。確か、前原くんだったかしら？
My two companions exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All these passerby even knew my name.
なんで俺ってこんなに有名人なんだ？
The past three people, and when all three of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
悲しいかな。ひなみ沢は人が少ないからね。みんな顔見知りなんだよね。
つまりなんだ？知らない顔が歩いてれば、それは自動的に新しく引っ越してきた前原さんってことになるわけか。
で、
うん。そういうことになるね。
fair enough. It's a process of elimination you can only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. From now on, I'd better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The day I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare.
もちろんわかるよ。最初に会ったのが牧野林店の竹蔵おじさん。趣味は盆栽と尺八なんだよ。
次が乾物屋の次男の大輔くん。趣味は狙撃で将来の夢は超 A 級スナイパーだとか。 今の人は入江診療所の看護師のミオさん。趣味は野鳥の観察と撮影だって。
Huh.
すれ違った全員の名前までわかるのかよ。プロフィールまで。
Seeing my surprise, Mion and Reina exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
まあね。ここいらは都会みたいにご近所付き合いが希薄じゃないからね。
試しに聞いてみよう。今ここにいる俺は誰だ？
前原圭一くん。意地悪なこと言うけど、本当は優しいテレ屋さん。
転校してきてようやく3週間。趣味は昼寝。最近トランクス派に転校。
What the?
したよね。
もういいもういい。
トランクス。
それもいい。
Apparently, there is absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with. Again.
これじゃあさ、俺のための案内ってより、俺のお披露目みたいだな。
そうだね。うちらさ、これだけ賑やかに練り歩いてたからね。みんな思うんじゃない？ケイちゃんもひなみ沢に馴染んでくれたんだって。
ひなみ沢は過疎だから。村中みんなが新しい仲間を歓迎してくれてるの。
I thought about brushing it off with something of the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who'd just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to again the same way.
あら、こんにちは。仲良しそうでいいわね。
藤島さんちのおばさんだよ。こんにちは。
あら、前原くん、両手に花でいいわね。どう？生活はもう慣れた？
How does she know the underwear? You know, Icy, I'm not sure we should ask. Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was.
グッド。
As I looked back over to Reina and Mion, they gave me a wink.
でね、そろそろお昼にしないかな。
Reina's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other.
俺も男だ。努力はする。だが量が多すぎる。
よし、ケイちゃん。ここはおじさんに任せなさい。
Leave it to this old man. Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does now. I'd expect no less from the class representative.
レナ、どうせ食べるならさ、見晴らしのいいところで食べない？
それいい。賛成。
Reina nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. Cresting to the top of a stone stairway, a shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling.
ここはね、古出神社っていうの。 多分見晴らしが一番いいところかな。
ここの場所、よく覚えといてね。もうすぐここでお祭りがあるんだから。
Hey, festival time. I know the festival's a pretty big cliche in visual novels.
へえ、祭りにしちゃちょっと早いシーズンだよな。
綿流しは夏祭りじゃなくてね、昔は冬の終わりを喜ぶお祭りだったらしいよ。
Oh my god. I feel like, oh, oh. Did I miss something? I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer.
さて、弁当を広げてっと。
Various colored lunchboxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. Sure did smell delicious. It was Raina's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all this? Hey Mion, it'll take more than just a good view to get all this down, you know.
こんにちはです。
Hey. It was Rika-chan and Satoka. Home cooking or store-bought? That is the question. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This was her secret plan. The power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when the pieces are in place is my specialty.
騒がしいから来てみれば、これは何ですの？
見りゃわかるだろ。これからランチタイムだ。ビュッフェスタイルだ。
Buffet style.
レラの手作り弁当に舌鼓だ。
そんなの見ればわかるでございますわ。どうして人様の庭でご座なんか広げてますの？
神社は公共の場所だぞ。勝手に独占するな。
圭一の言う通りですよ。みんなのお庭にしますです。
やっぱりリカちゃんはいい子だな。座りな、そこ。一緒に食べよう。
After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Satoko.
ちょっとお待ちなさいな。私はどこに座ればいいんですの？
お前に座る場所はないし、食べる分もない。
大丈夫だよ。さとこちゃんの分もちゃんとあるから。
ない。さとこの分も俺がいただく。
そんなことは許せませんの。リカ。はい、お箸です。
Oh god, she's gonna cry again. Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other. Run!
いやはや、ケイちゃん乗せるのうまいわ、ほんと。才能あるのかもしれない。
はい、お皿。みーちゃんも、リカちゃんも。
Reina whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
僕たちも頑張らないとなくなってしまうです。
そうだね。よし、参戦と行くかな。
行くぜ。
いっぱい食べてね。ちゃんとみんなの分あるから。
Reina said as she opened up a thermos. Just then I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
そのハンバーグは渡しませんわ。
What the hell?
いや、肘は反則だろ、サトコ。
Wait, is that what K2 looks like? The man's pretty small himself! What a small lad!
襟首をつかむのも反則でございます。
It was a tough battle. Blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves, Satoko appeared to have the upper hand, but the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand. Small man with man voice.
最後のミートボール。
校長サトコ、破れたりー。
Numb! Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Reina blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Reina to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh.
日本語ってやつはさ、どうしてこう味に対する賛辞が少ないんだろうな。
食事中の団らんって考えがそもそも近代に入ってからだからじゃない？
昔の人は無言で食事を済ませたそうだし、作る人もちょっぴり寂しかったろうね。きっと昔の人は食べるのに忙しくて味を褒める暇もなかったのですわ。
That's just you.
でもね、美味しいの一言だけでも嬉しいよ。苦労の甲斐があったかなって。
She blushed a little as she said that.
美味しいです。
With absolutely perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Reina directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence.
は？
After Reina uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible poof.
リカちゃん、お持ち帰りじゃなくて、ありがとう。本当に美味しかったですよ。
Reina flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it. Jesus.
リカちゃんには褒めてもらったお礼に、じゃーん！これをサービスね。
Two apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them towards Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way.
なんだよ、サトコ。その挑戦的な目は。
Uh-oh.
皆さんにはレナさんのリンゴを獲得できるだけの賛辞が用意できまして。
強気じゃんよ。ボキャ品のあんたにどんな賛辞が思いつくっての？
では、ご覧あそばせ。
After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly.
エレナお姉ちゃんのお弁当、サトコも美味しかったよ。
Satoko looked up at her proudly while proudly while talking cutesy. What? How is that praise? It's not even persuasion by tears, that's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is a Reina limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, without waving around in a circle. Don't fall for it, Reina! Well, she's long gone. Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Reina glomped Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her.
かいかい。サトコちゃんもかいよ。お持ち帰り。はう。
Swish! Stab! Push! Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me with oh my goodness, I can't read. She looked over at me and Mion with that defiant gaze. It only took 5 seconds to take down Reina. That's unfair! To think she had such a trick!
悔しければ、レナさんにご褒美がもらえるような30億巻が遊ばせ。
Damn it! That was a dirty trick. First of all, that wasn't even praise.
サトコ、それで勝てたつもりとはね。あんたらの底の浅い技とはわけが違うものを見せてあげようじゃない。
She's gonna flub it up, isn't she?
そりゃ頼もしいぜ、ミオ。そりゃどんな技なんだ？
やるのはケイちゃん。
はぁ？
Well,
見せてもらおうではございませんか。戸島のあがきを。
plan of attack she suggested was wicked. But it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking very naturally and calmly. Perfectly.
本当に美味しいよな。これってさ、全部手作りなのかい？
実はね、これ、ほとんど冷凍物なの。
じゃあ、レナの手作りのってどれだい？
恥ずかしいな。教えなきゃダメ？どうしても？
From the synergy of body plus handmade, from the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into euphoria.
わかるよ。これ、でしょ。
That Reina turned an even deeper shade of red, the words, "I can't believe it," practically written all over her face.
なんでわかるかな？レナの手作り。
Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. Oh wow. Okay. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be...
レナの匂いがしたから。
That is sus. Silence enveloped the area. Reina, face still completely red, froze solid. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course, I did too.
レナの手作りのリンゴのうさぎさんが食べたいな。なんて。
Even if this was all because I was competing against Satoko, it felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Then, at that moment... It was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits. What the... What?
いっぱいあるんだよ。
What? Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over.
はい、して、ケイチくん、
My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced into my mouth. More and more apples.
ほうがはほほ、ほへはきごはきは。
How about them apples, Toku? Looks like we...
ケイちゃん、殉職見事なり。
That was a beautiful sacrifice.
どうよ、さとこ。うちらの完全勝利だね。
こんな手、信じられないですの。悔しくないもん。
Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it! I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Reina stopped her squealing as she suddenly realized something.
リカちゃん、食べないの？塩水強すぎたかな？かな？
Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placing it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do.
うさぎさんがかわいそうです。
Reina trying to kill you.
助けてあげてほしいです。
Aww. Wah. Pwah. That was the sound of blood spurting from Reina's nose. Oh my god.
かいいよ。今夜こそ絶対本持ち帰り。
Oh no, Rika is a vegan. She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then, coming back to her senses, she took all the apples around me, gathered them up with a foot, and fixed them back up on a plate. Oh wait, did Rika win?
これでみんな寂しくないよね。これリカちゃんにあげる。ね。
Rika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbit shoved to her. She whispered,
僕たちが勝ちましたです。
Wow, you little... Wow! I can't believe this. They played us like a damn fiddle!
ほう、ほくやわえや。
Just don't care anymore. Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. Well, you win some, you lose some, chat. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
じゃあね、レナにケイちゃん。また明日ね。
ミオ、今日はありがとな。楽しかったぜ。
また明日ね。
Satoko and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Reina and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
ケイチくんも今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。楽しかった？
ああ。楽しかった。
Yeah.
まだ家に帰るのが惜しいくらいだぜ。
あ、じゃあさ、
Oh?
ちょっとだけ寄り道してもいいかな？
Oh?
寄り道？遠いのか？
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Reina, I quietly nodded. Sus. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
今日は久しぶりだから何かあるかな？
久しぶりって、レナの用は、ゴミの山かよ。
ゴミじゃないよ。
Reina, I'm sorry, but no matter how you look at that, that's garbage.
レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
Reina had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that meant there was something cute here?
わあ、新しい山だ。ワクワク。
She descended the unstable slope with ease. I'd expected no less from a born and bred country girl.
おい、待てよ。今行くから。
Uh-oh. My city raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ、ケイチくんはそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
Reina kindly declined my accompaniment.
転ぶなよ。足元に気をつけろよ。
大丈夫だよ、大丈夫。全然平気。
Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Reina disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Reina around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. One man's trash is another man's treasure. True. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. What the hello? My man's got the pecs for days. Standing there was a typical looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. I wonder if they got him looking even more buff in the remake. They deadass do! I was kidding if they had him looking. Bro! My man's buffed out. Looking like he's about. Damn, he's buff. That's what I'm saying. Man, it looks like he's about to fucking fight Goku. What does he mean, typical looking photographer, dude? Look at the man's build! His body was tanned and fit. But something about him seemed unreliable. and he had a bit of a tan and an aloof air about him. Well, wait, did I say a bit of a tan? He had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっとあ、びっくりした。
Goes from nerdy photographer to buff guy with camera. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
ごめんごめん。驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はひなみ沢の人かい？
I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。
Tomitake.
フリーのカメラマンさ。ひなみ沢にはたまに来るんだ。
I didn't ask who you were. Hello, Helix. Hor, 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 hor. Hor, 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 hor. Hor, 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 hor. Alright, alright.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
ごめんごめん。メインは野鳥の撮影でね。断った試しがないんだよ。
That... So what? You're saying I'm the same as the birds?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏る少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝るよ。
Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Reina would be back soon. This older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
ケイチくん、待たせてごめんね。もう終わりにするから。
Reina popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
連れがいたのかい？お、彼女はあんなところで何をしているんだい？
That's what I wanted to know.
さあね。昔起こった殺人事件の死体でも探してるんじゃないですか？
Huh? Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh, I responded like I would if I were talking with Reina and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。まだ見つかってないんだろ？
ケイチくんお待たせ。
We just gonna slide past that?
待ったかな？
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイイチ君。
Mitake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチくん、怒ってる？どうしてだろう？
It wasn't Reina's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？掘り出し物は見つかったか？
聞いて。あのね。あったの。ランディ君人形。
Colonel Randy doll.
ランディ君人形？ってあれか？ファーストフードの店の前に必ず置いてある、あの等身大人形の？
Wait, Colonel Sanders?
そう、ランディ君。
Oh my.
かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not. But well, she seems to want it.
あれはゴミだろ。お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
他の山の下敷きになってるの。簡単には掘り出せないし。あそこ、明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
Reina seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back.
俺も手伝ってやるよ。今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
ありがとう。
Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
ケイチくんが手伝ってくれる。ランディ君をお持ち帰りできる。はう。
Reina staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state.
なあ、レナ。あそこで昔、なんかあったのか？
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。詳しく知らないけど、ふう。
例えばさ、工事中になんかあったとか、事故とか。
知らない。
Huh? Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. Wait, what? I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Reina quickly lightened her expression.
実はね、去年までよそに住んでたの。
Hold on, chat. Hold on. That was sus. That wasn't just me, right? That was sus. Okay, so they was talking about some guy, the photographer, right? They was talking about some guy that was dismembered or something. Like it was an actual ass thing that happened. Why did... Something ain't adding up.
レナも転校生だったのか？俺はてっきり。
だからね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。
Nah, that's bullshit.
ごめんね。
Don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course, it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. I still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitaki-san said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. The cicadas? What is happening? Wait. Few new tips. I want to see this one first. From the June XX 1979 edition. The Shishibon City, Okinomiya Place... I almost said PlayStation, Jesus. Police station, June, late at night. Suspects, blank, 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 were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, Blank, has been added to wanted list nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the Blank at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, Blank, as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the Blank at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Blank. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. Okay. Let's read this then.
ケイちゃんってさ、すごいお金持ちってわけでもないの？
I like how it goes from that right back to like the cheery music.
なんだよ突然。俺がいつ高級車で投稿したよ。
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる
？1000円。
結構小市民的ですのね。
That's a rather plebeian amount.
お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount.
ごめんね。
Raina seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ？だから建築中からひなみ沢中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったんだよ。
Maibara Manor.
あんなに大きいお家だから、どんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理では、お家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますのよ。
Well, that's just kind of rude.
貧乏でかわいそうです。
That is also rude. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うちは金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。極めて平均的な普通の家庭だ。
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で、門は大型車も入れるようになってるし。絶対普通じゃないって。
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio's in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually only uses a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people in cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion was talking about is the one for the studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。お金持ちじゃないと主張しながらもあの邸宅。一体何が隠されているのか。
いいものが隠されてるといいな。きっと家具を買うお金もなくなってて殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。絨毯のお部屋ならぜひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。わあ、それいいね、それいいね。レナもゴロゴロしたい。
Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. Hey yo, that's us. The cry of the Higurashi crescended, as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Okay. Where are we at now? Yeah, let's just save over this one. End of chapter 2. I think that's a pretty good place to stop for today. How do I get out of here? How do I leave?
Randy 君人形?
Ah, there we go. Yes. That's interesting. Also, thank you for the hydration, soldier. That got really sus. Like, not the funny sus, but like the... Reina... She was very quick to dismiss that. I don't know about her. I don't know about that one now. But we will see. We will see. Maybe I'm just being silly. Although I highly doubt it. Oh, come on now. Let's find someone to raid. I think I saw Diary get on earlier, so we could go ahead and raid Diary. In all honesty. Let me close that, close that. Yeah, we'll raid Diary. Why not? Why the heck not? Let me go ahead and type this stuff in. Slippery little streamer. Alright guys, this is our raid message. As always. There you go. And let's go ahead and raid. No, shit. X Diary. Wait, I typed that in wrong, didn't I? No, I didn't. I got it. Ah, let's go. Let's go. Thank you all so much for dropping by and chatting and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a good day. I'll see you later, and bye-bye.
Please inform the king of my intentions.
わあ、おうも